Hello, my name's Scott and welcome to the Living History School. Today we're going to go over some of the basic tools you'll need for flint knapping or making arrow points or spear points. So what you need to start out with is some kind of good material. Some of the, of course, the best material is obsidian, and obsidian is a volcanic glass, and it's the prime source for making points. So if you don't have this, you can use. I recommend just getting using the bottom of regular glass, like a bottom of a bottle or something like that. And then, so this is a really nice piece. This is mahogany obsidian, and it flakes really nice. And then the other types are rainbow obsidian and black obsidian. But in areas, I wouldn't recommend starting out with chert or jaspers and things like that because they're actually really hard to work, and most of them were heat treated by native peoples. And then you'll need some percussion tools, and basically what percussion is, you're hitting hitting a flake off by using a piece of sandstone or a elk antler baton you can use, or just plain river cobble, and you want some kind of sandstone. And this is when you hit this, you're gonna break off a flake. And what this is a core obsidian. This is the actual outside cortex of the rock, and this is the inner part of the rock. So when you find this, when native peoples would go up to the mines to gather obsidian, they actually mined it. They would go up to the coring areas and pull it out, and they would get cobbles like this, and then they break them into blanks. So they knock off blanks, or they would transport cobbles and or blanks. A blank is just a kind of a rough shape of a spear point, and then as it was retreated, people would work them down into smaller and smaller pieces. So this is the core, or the core of the cobblestone there. And then what else you'll need is a piece of leather too, that goes in your palm of your hand when you're working the piece of obsidian. So you'll need a piece of leather. And then for the pressure flaking part, you'll need some kind of deer antler. So you just cut off the top of a tine, and then you can just use it just as is. And then if you don't have access to a deer antler, you can take a piece of hardwood, and you can go down to your building supply center and get a piece of copper grounding rod, and then just cut that off and drill a hole and mount it inside here. And this works really well for flaking if you can't, as I say, if you can't get access to a deer antler. And then another thing you need is, I like to have this kind of pad that goes on your leg. This is a piece of deer hide with hair on, and I set this over my leg to work on pieces of stone and such. And then you'll also need some safety glasses, and you can also wear a glove, especially if you're initially breaking percussion, breaking the flakes off of the core here. So, and then one other thing I'd like to tell you about, a lot of people don't know, is in what archaeologists do. They can actually date obsidian stone tools, and it's called obsidian hydration. And what happens is when you break a piece of obsidian, it actually absorbs water, and it absorbs so many microns per 1,000 years. And so they're able to read these the banding in this obsidian to tell you how long ago it was actually broken. So that's called obsidian hydration, and that's a dating technique for archaeologists. And also, they would source flows of obsidian. So what happens when the obsidian flows down a hill and it hardens? It takes on a unique characteristic, and so archaeologists can come and actually find these different flows and record them. And then as native people came and gathered the obsidian, it was traded all throughout the area, and then they could source that back to the original flow by its characteristics. So that's just a little information tidbit, but this is basically what you need to get started in making arrowheads and arrow points. As I say again, you can use just regular glass, bottle glass. Ishi, one of the last wild North American Indians, he actually would go and raid the miners' whiskey bottles when they would throw them out in when they were using them along railroad tracks and things. And so he took advantage of that and way back when. So so that's another source when you can't have source to Obsidian, and if you can't have it, you don't have a deer antler, you can go ahead and do this too. So that should get you started. And thanks for joining me on Living History School. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below in the video, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks.